Eminent domain is an issue that grabs the attention of every homeowner. Over the summer, the Ohio Supreme Court issued a landmark ruling on this, and here to talk about the issue is attorney Warner Mendenhall. We welcome you here. First of all, let's get to the homeowner who gets the notification that the government wants their property. But they have rights, you say?
They certainly do have rights, and frankly, Ohio now has some very strong protections for homeowners. The property cannot be taken unless it's for a public use. And a public use would be like a highway, a school, or other clearly identifiable public use. The issue that has come up, of course, is our United States Supreme Court has allowed homes to be taken for private use, and that's a problem, I think.
And a lot of people are up in arms about this. Now, you also have that you have rights to have a jury actually determine the value?
That's correct.
Okay.
If the property is going to be taken, there are several stages to this. And the first one is to determine whether there is truly a public use. That's the first stage, and the judge will decide that. The second stage is the value of the property. And every person, if your home is going to be taken, you have a right to go to a jury and ask for the value of that property.
When you find yourself in a situation where all of this that you're talking about, it costs money, what if the person doesn't have enough money to get all this legal work done?
Well, there are a couple of things. The Institute for Justice has been very active in Ohio and has done some pro bono work here in Ohio, particularly in Norwood, down near Cincinnati, and also in Lakewood. They've also been present for some situations that came up in Akron. If you decide you want to have your home taken, but you just want to get a fair price for it, you can usually have an attorney do that on a contingency basis, so there would be no money up front for the attorney on that.
Let's talk about the Kelo decision from the U.S. Supreme Court in a little more detail about that.
The Kelo decision, and I think this is a very unfortunate decision because it really has opened up eminent domain for commercial uses. So the government in some states, not Ohio now, but in some states, if the government decides that there's a higher value for that land, a higher purpose for it, such as commercial use, they can go in and take your land and turn it over to commercial developers. And I think that's seriously unfortunate. Thankfully, our Ohio Supreme Court made the right decision this year and said that that's improper, that you must have a public use.
Wow, and I can see why a lot of people would be up in arms about that if it was not that way in Ohio.
Yes.
All right, well, definitely a hot issue, and I'm sure we'll always be reporting something about eminent domain. But Warren Mendenhall, you broke it all down for us today.
All right.
We thank you so much for being here. But if you need more information and you need more clarity on this subject, you can contact Warner Mendenhall. His offices are on Union Street in Akron. There's a number on your screen. We also have a link to his website on newsnet5.com, and we will be going over to Alicia.